Good evening. Been a long day, so got a request, and then some people discussing the issue of U.S. corporate taxes. And at the heart of this is always whether or not U.S. corporations pay their fair share. So then it naturally, very predictably, falls into corporations have all these tax loopholes. So all the typical process will go, the U.S. has the second highest corporate tax rates in the world, says the conservative. The socialist or liberal says, but they got loopholes. And most liberals and socialists don't think beyond that. That's just their talking point. Now, there are some liberals who might have actually looked some stuff up or read some literature. Whether or not they confirmed it or not is another matter. Where they do know that the corporations do use some loopholes, and they use offshore accounts and things like that, and subsidiaries and stuff like that, to lower their overall tax bill. And either through knowledge, but I believe it's more luck, they just end up being right. Corporations do that. So that results in these two tax rates, which is the epitome of this debate that we have. There's the statutory tax rate, which is the stated tax rate in the books, which is 40% if you consider state and local, or state and federal. And then there is the effective tax rate. What percentage of the post-operating income goes to governments, is actually paid in a tax. Now, state tax rate is 40%, and the effective tax rate, it really depends on the corporation, but it ranges from estimates anywhere between 17 and 32%. So that's the argument the left view. Oh, look, they only pay this much. Well, the problem is that the argument is wrong. Usually, when you have this debate, it's we'd like to get corporations to invest in the United States. Look at us scare them away with a 40% tax rates. Liberals completely miss the intention of that argument or that point, probably purposely. And they say, well, look, it's not as high as you say it. It doesn't matter how high it is, whether or not the effective rate is as high as what the stated rate is. That's not the point. The point is there shouldn't be a corporate tax rate. If you want jobs, you want economic growth, you should entice and attract investors and attract businesses and corporations to your country by getting rid of corporate taxes. And this is not like it's new. Just look at the Cayman Islands. Look at these tax havens everyone hates. If you look at their standards of living, the Cayman Islands, Bermuda, I think Liechtenstein or Luxembourg, one of the two, Singapore, these countries' standards of living are amazing. Last I checked, this is a long time ago, I think Bermuda was at 70,000. But you go to the CIA World Factbook, look it up for yourself. The question is, what don't you people get about that? What is so bad about having an income per capita of $70,000 per person? It's only like 45 here, 42 I guess, with adjusting for the recession. But this is such a no-brainer, such a fourth grade logic that it makes me wonder either liberals and leftists are spectacularly stupid and ignorant, or they're just vicious and mean and really evil and just, you know, they don't care about reality. It's let's stick it to the corporations because I like sticking it to the corporations. So it's a philosophical question, I guess, as to whether or not you want corporations here. I guess another way, and I always use this, I use this analogy. Seriously, people, you know, if you want economic growth, you got to start looking at corporations as your wife or your husband, depending on whether you're a boy or a girl. If I have my wife and I hit her, just clobber her, you think she's going to stick around? She's going to leave. If she's smart, she'll leave. And it's the same thing with corporations. You want to villainize them, you want to tax them, you want to metaphorically hit them right across the face. Well, don't get upset when they go and send their corporate headquarters elsewhere. So, you know, honey and vinegar, real simple elementary school stuff. And like I said, it leads me to believe that if you can't convince people with that kind of an argument, you're not a bad debater. You're dealing with someone who's delusional. You're dealing with someone who just is purposely refusing to adhere to logic and facts. So, you know, I don't care. Again, I've checked out. I'm going to go enjoy the decline, whether or not you inevitably get corporate tax rates. Well, I mean, hell, I could turn around this country and economy in about 6 months or so. But I guess people are too emotionally attached to wanting to stick it to corporations and beating their wives. So good luck with that economic policy. Toodles.